some of y'all have asked me about this little, doodad over here, whatever this is called, my little floral thing. I'm not even kidding. I didn't buy this from anywhere. This is a gold frame from Goodwill, and the glass is still on it. And these are dried flowers from a bouquet I bought for myself. Quite literally shoved them on the front of this frame, and they stuck up, and it works. So yeah, I think I gotta make more. Hi everyone, it's Isabella here, and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you do or don't know, I make anti-scam content. We talk about some weird corners of the internet. We literally do anything. Kicking off this month, we are going to be starting off strong with a very fascinating topic of covering Gen Alpha influencers and also exploiting children by mommy influencers. Now, I am very adamant about discussing when I'm able to the exploitation of children when it comes to the content creator side. As a content creator, I know how much I can put myself out there and how much I can have control over that, but there's many people who don't have control over that. They don't really care, quite frankly, because they're valuing making money over protecting their children. And that is what I want to discuss, react to today. We are going to be going through examples of very scary and sad, in my opinion, neglectful and exploitive content creators who are using their children for money. It is very fucked up. It is very awful. And I want to kind of discuss it further because I think it's overall a very important topic to have. Again, you guys know the more that I talk about something, the more that we can spread awareness and discuss it further. And I think it's really significant because people can learn and we all progressively learn together. Again, I totally understand because previously I used to have no concept of how bad some of these creators were. I just thought, oh, well, it's a cute video. And I would connect it to like the regular everyday individual who would share their kids on Facebook that I would see when I was like a teenager, right? But I started realizing that too much of that is still a problem regardless of the size of the platform, but especially awful with the size of a platform if you have a large platform. So without further ado, let's hop into today's video. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you'll be notified of all my videos. And now let's get into it. So real quickly, just a very quick recap before we get into some of the first reactionary parts is child exploitation. What are we looking at? What are we expecting? So a lot of people do not understand that child exploitation can look like many things, right? There could be children who have a family that is very well off financially. They could be well fed, they could be well clothed, but they can still be dealing with exploitation and abuse at home, which is so awful. And I feel like some people look at the content that they see on their FYP and forget to really think about how there are real children that are a part of this. And a lot of the stuff involved is far too much. And as a content creator who makes content for a living, I know the sheer amount of effort that it can require to make content and put yourself out there. And that is not a place where children should be, period, in my opinion. So we're going to be getting into some examples of this. First of all, let's look at this one that is by Garza Crew. This is an account that I actually found while doing my Sephora kids, super obsessed with anti-aging products and purchasing from Sephora and children being exploited in that way. Super problematic. I'll have that video pop up over here, but this is a get ready with me with Jenny. So let's get into this.
Hey guys, it's Jenny with a G. Get ready with me for school. You didn't know my name was Jenny with a G? First up, I used two toners. Well, why not? Refreshing. Next up, my Glow Recipe Firm Serum. Gotta keep those wrinkles away. Next up, my Glow Recipe Moisturizer. Glow Recipe actually sent it to me. Let me show you how I decorated. Plump. And I added some stickers and tell Haven. Whoops, I mean Jenny with a G. It's Monday. Who likes Mondays? I do. My favorite color is blue, and I wear blue every Monday. It's smooth as a baby's bottom. Let's finish it off with a mist. Ooh, I'm cold. We have to use the 71. Yay. Final step. My lips are so chapped. I'm sweating. Peace out, bro.
Oh my God, I have so many feelings about this. So first of all, this is a content creator that is a mommy content creator that used her child that is a quote, Gen Alpha influencer to make Get Ready With Me's. And one thing I want to say is there are many people who don't have to have a ton of content on their children to still be overly using their kids on social media, in my opinion. But from what this account is showing, there is too many examples of this parent, in my opinion, overly exposing their children for content and making money. First problem with this is I do not like how there's a Get Ready With Me with all these expensive products. I understand wanting to play with your mom's makeup and products. I used to do that same thing too. Like I completely get it. But I think it's weirder when we get it on the internet. I know, for example, thinking about kids in the future for me, if my children are going to see me working, I'm sure they're going to want to mimic their parent. That makes sense. The problem is having a balance with it. What we shouldn't be doing is posting it all the time. Y'all are not going to be seeing a get ready with me of a child of mine. Absolutely not. That will never be seeing the internet. That is fucking weird. The only time you're going to see that is when they're old enough, and I can't have control over that. Then they're too old. They're grown at that point. There's nothing I could do about that. But such a young child like that, that's really weird. Also, talking about anti-aging, I do not think that a lot of these mommy influencers truly understand and realize how much you can negatively impact your child with this kind of conversation. When you constantly talk about anti-aging to your child and teach them that that's something that is awful, like aging is awful and something that you need to fear, they're going to constantly be thinking about that. That's the same thing where back when I was younger, I remember being around a lot of weight loss magazines. Now, it was just because it was a very common thing for people to buy because there was a lot of good articles on them, you know, inside shopping stuff. It was really fun. The problem is so many of the covers of these magazines had everything about weight loss and staying skinny. And after a while, I started zoning into these magazines. I was genuinely starting to freak out when my body would change as a young child. And I think that this has happened for generations, but it's worse now because this is being shown on the internet for people to view. So these really core moments where kids are learning about things and they're learning about problematic things like you can't age, this is also being displayed on the internet. So not only are they learning things that could possibly be hurting them and being taught of, oh, prevent the wrinkles, oh, do that. You're a baby. You should know that. You're also having it on the internet. That's weird. There's a difference between a mommy vlogger who makes content and doesn't exploit their children and is a mom, you know, and talks about being a parent versus one that overly shares too much about their children, shows off their children, and utilizes their children for content. There's a very clear difference. This one just really rubbed me wrong because I do not like the idea of a child, and I get it. Like, she's so adorable. She's just talking and doing what a normal kid would do with being excited. But this is going to transfer into she thinks she needs to do it. Also, why is her mom encouraging her to make content like this? What the fuck are you doing? It's one thing if she's like, oh, can I film a get ready with me because she watches you? Yeah, don't post it. Don't post it. Like, this is so common sense at this point, and I'm so tired of this. This is a video that is by Jess Fam Official. This is a mom/stepmom of 7 kids. First day back to school. Let's watch.
Morning, back to school.
So cold.
It's cold at school.
Yes. The rooms do not have heaters. They're all broken.
All of them?
Yes.
Every single
one.
Well, then you better grab a bigger jacket. I bought you that really warm jacket. It's this one. Kate Landon. The one Kaden's wearing. I have the same one, but in green. Really cold out here, Addie. Ooh, touch it. California kids aren't used to.
All right, imagine literally being a child and going through your regular routine and your mom constantly has to put up a tripod to film everything that you do, even the conversations about school. That's literally not creating a safe space for your kids. I know some people are like, well, this is only a short amount showing up, like showing into their lives. It's not that deep. No, it is though. When some of these mommy content creators use every aspect of their lives for content, specifically their routines with their children, it is very bad. One, these kids aren't able actually to really just talk with you. And I think it's really weird when you include conversations with them. It's unnecessary. It truly is unnecessary. Like, what is the point of that? Also, I would have been pissed. Are you kidding me? Waking up and trying to get ready for the day. And some of these kids might not even realize that this is bad, but to me, overly constantly showing off your kid like that is not something that should be happening. Also, I think some people are forgetting how this can impact their social lives at school. I know for me, when I was younger, I dealt with some bad bullying. If my mom was overly sharing everything on the internet, oh my God, I know that would have gotten so bad. That would have gotten horrific for me. Imagine going to school and someone's bothering your child because, you know, that does happen. We're not dumb. We know that kids get bullied, but imagine you have that, or essentially giving that ammo of, I know what this looks like. I know what your mom talks about because she overly shares about you on the internet. It's not even allowing kids to develop their own personalities in the privacy of their own home, and also in school because their parents are trying to curate some images of their children and post them up to millions.
It's our first day back to school. The grass is frost. Are you checking if the pool's frozen? Is it cold? That's how
Why are we showing the outside of our house? This is something I will never do. Actually, I remember thinking, like, before when I moved in this house, I was like, ooh, this is a good idea to do like a house tour. And then I was like, actually, no, why did I think of doing that? Because it's so normal for content creators to share so much about their house and living space. And I was like, no, I don't need to be doing all that. No one needs to know the exact layout of my house. That's actually a little too much at that. Why are we showing the outside of your house? Especially when you have kids. There are predators who want to know your kids, who want to know the outside. It's not hard then. Like, honestly, if I genuinely sat down and tried super hard to find this house, I know I could easily. It's not hard, which is so sad. It is quite easy. So this is like the biggest thing when it comes to child safety is you're also walking through and showing too much of your house, in my opinion, but you're also showing the outside, which is the biggest no. Like, I used to think, oh yeah, it's okay to post my car. I'm not fucking doing that anymore. Absolutely not. You're gonna maybe see the inside of me talking about something, and that's about it. You're not seeing the outside of my house. You're not seeing even me drive off in the background of my house. No. If you ever see the outside, I am far, far away from my house. I can promise you. But especially with children involved, when there's so many creepy people on the internet. And one thing I think a lot of mommy influencers forget too is I get creepy ass messages from weird men. I'm gonna find you. I know where you live. You're not gonna be able to sleep. Please, like weird shit like that. Okay. Or like I remember actually I've had emails sent to me of like men that are like, this is what I'm gonna do to you. I'm like, the fuck you're not. Anyways, they will threaten that. If I, a grown adult, get that, and we know there are absolute weird pedos out there. If I get that, what the hell are you doing showing the outside of your house?
I feel about the cold.
Look at the turf.
Our soccer field is frozen.
Oh.
At least it's pretty today.
Like, I know the full layout of that backyard right now. I shouldn't see that. I should not know anything about that. But this has been viewed by thousands of people.
For you guys to go back to school.
At least it's freezing cold. Literally, she's like this except in her room.
It's a mess today. Let's pop those in for like 2 more minutes. It's been 3 weeks since I made baby wipes. Forget how long you put them in the air fryer. You think this has red dye in it? Slowly pulling red dye out of her.
You know what bothers me so much is she could film content like this mom vlogger style, but not show her kids. A beautiful example of this is, I think, Nara Smith. She doesn't really show faces of kids. Our content is around her. Is she a mom? Yes. But 90% of our content, like, you see the back of her kids' heads. If anything, she doesn't show too much. She doesn't talk about her kids too much. And I love that. And it drives me crazy because this woman is just, you can see it all.
It's diet, and we're noticing that it's in literally everything. Things that you wouldn't even expect sometimes. We need to leave in 13 minutes.
Glittering.
Oh my god, it actually is. Ooh, yeah, but you're gonna have to buy different ones.
They're warm off, right?
They'll warm up. No, cannot wear these to school.
They'll
You're
warm
gonna have
up.
to, no, not in 8 minutes. They're not. He's determined.
When you pack me talkies,
Blue talkies.
the only talkies that
I want y'all to see how many like cuts she's made because she has so many different, like, she has to reset up the camera so many times. That's a lot of effort, I think, while getting ready with your kids.
I could have.
Yes. Ow, ow. Okay, I need you guys to make your waters.
Don't take the chips out because they already have red dye in them. What's the point of having them if I'm just going to give them to someone?
What's wrong, guys? You have those tan ones. Her pants have a hole in them. I ordered you so many school pants.
Woo! A signature momfluencer thing is showing when your kid's crying. Why do we do that? See, like, literally, it's so bad as I say this because I was like, there's gonna be something weird in here, I know it. So we have showing the outside of your house, showing a morning routine. Okay, interesting. But in the way of like, why are we showing all the kids involved? Like, let's chill out a little bit. And then, oh, a bonus cherry on top, a child's crying and we're gonna show that. You didn't have to show that. I make content for a living on different platforms, and if I wanna do a routine, I can. Like, this is actually so fascinating. I have a partner, love him, he's so gorgeous, he's beautiful. He's a grown man though, so I can show him in certain content. I'm not gonna show him a lot. Why? Because I'm protective of him. Because I don't need to. This job is for me. No one else asked for this. And when you keep opening up too many people into it, you're gonna have problems and people that are negatively impacted by having too much of their information shared on the internet, but also the fact that they're not exactly as safe anymore. And that bothers me. Now, my partner can completely consent to anything that I show, and I will always check for consent. But I can film an entire get ready with me routine, which I can, and you won't see them. Like, because I don't need to do it. It's easy to not not do this. You can create quality content without overly showing too much information about your kids. I'm going to stop because this is going on way too long in my opinion, but she shows even more, and then she shows outside and their cars, and she blurs out the license plate, but I'm like, really? What the fuck is that going to do? You just showed your guys' vehicles. So that's weird. That's not normal. I am thoroughly bothered with this. This next one is going to be really triggering. It's going to be talking about weight loss with kids. So keep that in mind. I have timestamps in the description below, so that way you guys can skip through if you don't like this. But this is a video I found thoroughly pissed me off. And it's a mom that is displaying her child's weight loss and calling her child overweight. And she, oh my God, this makes me angry. She will literally have her child running on a treadmill on live. And if you guys, something I don't know if you do or don't know when it comes to TikTok is TikTok, if you have a certain amount of followers, you can go live, but then also you can get paid through TikTok live. So if someone sends you like little gifts, kind of similar to like if you're on YouTube, like if I'm on YouTube, someone can send me something. Okay. So same thing can happen with TikTok. People can make money through TikTok. And that is what can happen is people will use TikToks as money makers. But we're having a young child run on a treadmill because he's overweight, and allegedly you're making money off that. So I have several things that I need to talk about. First things first, as somebody who was young and struggled with her weight and lots of things and all the overwhelming feelings of that, and knowing other kids who I was very close to growing up who experienced the same thing, your child is too young to consent to this stuff. This should not be on the internet. I literally don't even know what I would do if half of my medical struggles as a child or whatever, anything that I struggled with as a child was on the internet, right? And actually, this is so sad because I remember this woman's name to this day, and she was a mom of many kids. She would overly share about her kids way too much. Every illness, every problem, everything that she could bitch about, she would put on Facebook. And every time I would feel so bad for her kids seeing that. And I remember as a young age, I was like, that doesn't feel right. That's too much. She would constantly share this stuff. And this is the exact same thing in my opinion. Day 9, 3 miles a day. That's actually a decent amount, I would say, to start off with. I'm needing anyone to comment down below on your perspective of this. I'm not going to say that exercise for children is wrong. Of course not. It's so good for kids to move their bodies. But literally the caption was going on about how this child is overweight. I'm going to be honest. Again, I am not a medical professional, know nothing. But just from seeing him, he looks like a growing boy. He looks like so many kids I see. And also there's many kids who hit growth spurts if he's perfectly fine. And if his doctor has no problem, what's the issue? Also, let's say he does. Let's say his doctor saying, hey, for your health, I think you need to maybe get some more movement in. That should be between your child, your doctor, and that's it. In a healthy conversation, not body shaming, not putting it on the internet. What the fuck do you gain from putting it on the internet? That's what I want to know. What do you gain from putting your young child on the internet running miles and giggling about it and putting him on live when he's clearly exhausted? Like, oh my God. So naturally people were losing their minds about this. Of course, I'm pissed off about it. And this is the response video that was made about how it's okay for her to do this. Again, this caption says, please show him some love. Let's get aware of overweight in our youth. Let's be the change. Hashtag pound drop. Hashtag weight loss motivation. Hashtag walking. Hashtag FYP, hashtag trending, hashtag overweight, hashtag overweight kids, hashtag love my kids, hashtag viral TikTok, hashtag go viral, hashtag USA, hashtag Oklahoma. Either way, I personally, from what I'm seeing, he looks like a normal kid. He looks like a normal kid. In my opinion, I think this is going to create an eating disorder or some insanely severe mental health issues, body dysmorphia, you name it.
Hey guys, so the reason we're making this video is because we need to address something. The last couple videos we've had, well, we've been having a lot of hate recently.
Why is this child speaking for his mother is what I want to know. I do not like how she's just sitting in the back, like silent, and having him speak. Because how would so he knows this. He knows that this is getting posted up about him. And that poor baby. The fact that he's defending his mom, and he doesn't know, he doesn't know how bad this is, how wrong this is, how exploitative this is. But he's defending his mom, and I don't blame him. He loves his mom. He's doing what he naturally would do, what a lot of children do. This is so, he looks like such a normal baby. I just want to hug him. Oh my God.
people saying that she's exploiting me, using me for money, using me for views, all that stuff. She's not. The haters are gonna think what they want to think, but we're not doing any of that. She isn't. She won't. Those people who are hating, they just don't like what I'm doing. They think that they can do better. Well, have they tried to? No. Am I? Yes. They think they're just mad because I'm doing something and they're not. But, you got anything? Dad?
Cooper, you just need to tell them how you feel.
I did. I just don't think it's right for them to do that.
I think this mom is teaching her children that people that are having a problem with this are haters. And that always irks me. So many people will be very quick to call constructive criticism and calling out of unethical things as being a hater. I get called a hater all the time. And I'm like, well, I don't want you doing illegal things. I don't want you scamming people. I don't want you exploiting kids. I think that's like bare minimum, honestly. But call me a hater, then I really don't give a shit. Oh my God, this is so sad.
It's not cool. That could get us taken off. Me, I did that so I could keep myself accountable, so people could actually know I try. We've got a huge following because of it, because of my work. Yes, she helps me out, but I'm doing a lot of it. Me getting up there on the treadmill and walking 5-6 miles a day. It's not just. Not a lot of people do that. Now I know there's people who do, but still, that was my choice to do that. I'm getting all the money off of it too, so don't think it's going to any of the money going off to her. It's not. But it was my choice to do this. She has my consent as well. If anybody wants to comment on this video and do stuff like that again.
Parents need to know if a kid is cool with something, though, you need to know right from wrong. Just because someone says, you can beat my ass, probably still don't do that. If a child says, you can do that, that's fine. They're the child who is not an adult yet, who, yes, has thoughts and feelings, but doesn't understand sometimes the broad consequences that can exist. A lot of children think that some things are normal when that's happening to them, and that's not the case whatsoever. There were things that I thought were super duper normal when I was a kid that were not whatsoever. And then I grew up and I was like, ooh, oh my God, I will never let that happen to my child. Like, it's something that we just sadly learn. But either way, this is wrong, and in my opinion, a perfect example of child exploitation and something that should just not be aired out on the internet for people. I am so sick of mommy influencers. I'm tired of it. Next one, you guys, is about a child wanting to be a YouTuber. So let's watch.
Day Rexy World. And today, my mom will be vlogging. This is my first YouTube video ever. I got to see you. And it's today. It's my birthday.
Oh, he's adorable. But okay, let's talk about this. So a lot of these mommy influencers will do this thing of like, oh, my kid keeps asking for me to post them. My kid keeps asking for me to do this. Again, as the adult, you should know to not do that. Like if your kid's like, ooh, we should go do this dangerous thing, naturally you shouldn't do it. So naturally it should not be normal for your young child to be on the internet too much. And so the whole caption says, I just wish my son had more subscribers because he really wants to be an influencer, but I'll be his biggest fan until he does. Big problem. Most people, I don't think, realize what comes with being a content creator. And I am so glad I didn't blow up when I was a teenager when I started making content. I was 16, 17 when I did. I didn't know shit for shit about the internet. I really didn't know like enough, right? I don't think people realize what can be required of you. Media literacy. You shouldn't share everything about your personal life, like those kinds of details. You shouldn't encourage a child to be an influencer. That's something that they should figure out if they are an adult. But I get it if they want to play. I get if they were like, this is a cool job, maybe someday. I understand that. And if your parents are doing that, I understand how kids would think of wanting to do that. I thought the exact same thing with my parents for the longest time, but you should not be overly sharing that. Like, that is an expensive camera that your kid's holding there. Like, did you buy that for him? That should not be, this child should not have a YouTube channel. This is another thing I really want to dive into is the YouTuber kids that do the unboxing videos. I don't know if any of y'all have gone onto that side of the internet. I fell down that rabbit hole years ago, actually, when I was babysitting some kids, and they were showing me this unboxing tutorial. Like, and I was like, this is a child, and this child's watching this child. Why the why does this baby have a YouTube channel? Why? And I was looking into it again after I went home, and I was like, why is this a thing? They have millions of subscribers, and these kids are playing and unboxing toys. I'm like, why are they on the internet? Like, that's weird. Why are they on the internet? It's such a normal thing, and it blows my mind. Why are kids working and making content? And also, why are parents encouraging this? Like, I'm gonna be his biggest fan until he does. I get supporting your kids, but at the same time, it's one thing to have a dream of being a baseball player, right? It's one thing to have a dream of being a doctor. It's another dream when you want to be all over the internet and you do not know the consequences of it, and posting your kids and sharing them and trying to get them into that world is wrong. And I think a lot of people know it's wrong. I think a lot of people know the money that child influencers make, because that is the thing. That is a huge demographic, because kids will watch it and adults will too. Okay. Like the potential and money that you can make. And if you can get your child growing, you can make a lot. And if you know that and you're sharing information about your kids and you're hoping to like support this hobby, it's a huge money maker that people are trying to promote. And I do not like that. So this is another example that I want to show that is actually from a TikTok account that has called Scarlett and Tiana. So Scarlett and Tiana is a TikTok account that it was kind of blew up because of the positive affirmations. So the mom would be doing her child's hair, and there would be positive affirmations that would be said to like encourage just more like self-love, positivity, and everything, which I love. I remember seeing them a long time ago, and I was like, that's so sweet. I love when parents are encouraging, you know, positive self-love and self-talk out into the world. I think that's a really big thing. But once again, as I started looking into them more, I realized that this is a very, very awful account. So please take a look at this. This is supposed to be apparently an ASMR video of her and her child putting together some storage bins or something. So watch.
Become famous for doing affirmations with your daughter and empowering her, but behind the scenes, she's your puppet for content. This isn't the first time Tiana has been caught behind the scenes scolding her daughter for not performing correctly.
Well, Scarlett, you haven't even done your side yet. Come on, man, do your side!
Don't gotta yell.
Huh? It's still loose, dude. Come on!
Okay, yeah, you're an absolute piece of shit for this. So if y'all don't know, these content creators, and this content creator specifically, will film mainly with her daughter. Like, it's rare that I ever see the daughter not present. She has been filming with her daughter since she was very, very young. Now, this is a ASMR video where they put it together. And like, you can understand that it's cute. Also, I think any adult has common sense that children are not gonna be perfect at things. They're gonna break things. They're not gonna know how to put it together. They're children. They're growing up. They're learning through you. But you raising your voice at your child because she's not putting together an item properly so the camera can see it well, are you out of your mind? So like dystopian and weird when you can see the ring light in the background and she's yelling at her kid like, come on, it's not put in right. Why are you getting upset and aggressive at your child because she's not putting in something right? Now keep watching the rest of this.
Put it on. They can't see you. You're covering the whole thing. Go back and come back around. And go.
Camera angle is more important to you than you speaking kindly to your child. Now, this is not the first time that this content creator has been caught doing this before, but this is what I'm talking about with some of the behind scenes stuff that happens with these mommy influencers exploiting their children. Is it all is cute and adorable, but when we see how perfect a lot of these kids are acting, and this is their real life, so they're showing up their real life, but being as perfect as possible. That doesn't just happen. A lot of these people do, many viewers don't realize that these kids are not automatically perfect in this way and know what to do and are adorable. They're coached. That's what happens. And this is a wonderful example of a mom getting mad because the child is in front of the camera too much. If you want to be a mommy content creator, I would assume that the natural behaviors of a child would make sense, would make the video of you putting together the storage bin more authentic. Either way, I don't agree that y'all should be doing a period. I don't. But that would make more sense, right? Instead, you get mad and pissed off at her because she's not on the right angle. I'm sorry. your career would not exist. The fact that you're doing that is unreal. And this happens so often, the overly coaching. If you see a child like talking and like lip singing, what is it? You know, the audios where they will like, there's an audio playing and they're like mouthing the words, that these kids are coached. They're told, ooh, trending audio, this is what you have to say. And they will sit there for a long time. And if my goofy ass, I sometimes, if I'm doing something like that, I have to practice and think, oh shit, okay, I have to say this phrase for this audio because I think it's funny. If I, as a grown adult, take a while to make that happen, a child is gonna take longer. So you're talking 30, 45 minutes for what, a 5-6 second clip. And if your child doesn't do it right, or if they don't want to do it, or if they're tired of doing it, which a kid's gonna get tired of doing that. So what do you do to keep them going? You get upset at them then, and then they'll listen? That's not how you should be raising a child. I am so fed up. Last but certainly not least, you guys, this is one that says POV. You're a full-time content creator who respects your kids' boundaries. I truly highly doubt that, but let's get into it.
Real quick before we go, can I get a clip of you holding this up like excited? Because I wanted to show the cup I got you. No? Okay. You about ready, baby? Okay, let's do it. Let's go to school, girl. All right, you have everything? You sure? Okay, ready for your spelling test?
What? This is so stupid. This is such a, I'm not an exploitive parent, don't worry. I asked my kids permission. You know, you can ask your kid to post something and they can still say yes and it can still be wrong. Also, I find it kind of ironic how you're like, I respect my kid's boundaries, and you ask her to pose, but you're also still filming while she says no. Make it make sense. Like, I do not, like, I think it's so funny to me when these mommy influencers are like, see, I listen to their boundaries. I don't film when they say no. Really? You still film them regardless, even when they say yes, which you should know better than to do. Moral of the story, there are many, many examples of exploitative mommy influencers. And if you have any other examples of that, feel free to send them to my email or my Instagram at Isabellamichellelanter, because I would definitely love to look into this stuff more. I think this is an extremely bad problem that we need to discuss further. Please be careful of the content that you support, because there are so many content creators like this who are doing this for a big check and they do not care. That is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.